A great couple of questions from one of my viewers. Let's see what they have to say. Where are you keeping these? They do not look like they are on the plant Asclepias where eggs are laid and began feeding and growing stages. Do you remove them? If so, why? And can you do a full tutorial on what you were doing from beginning to end? Please note, in several U.S. states, including California, Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, and Texas, it is illegal to raise monarch butterflies in captivity or to handle them extensively without a permit. This is often due to state regulations that protect wildlife for scientific research, education, or propagation purposes. Captive rearing, even for educational purposes, may require a permit. Monarchs require milkweed to both lay their eggs on and to eat until they become butterflies. There are multiple types of milkweed, also known as Asclepias, depending on the region. Please do not plant milkweed outside of its region. You can find milkweed that is specific to your state or region and grow those specific types. What I have here is swamp milkweed. A monarch caterpillar's life is fraught with many dangers, such as wasps, tachinid flies, beetles, and even birds who will eat them. All of these dangers can mean a very quick death for our caterpillars. So when I find them out in the garden, I move them into mesh cages to protect them. These are an endangered species of butterfly, and we in the Monarch Watch Society do our best to make sure these jewels of nature make it to the final stage of life. First, if I find small eggs in the garden, I will take off the entire leaf that they are attached to and give them a tiny bath for about 60 seconds in a 5% solution of bleach and water. I use 1 gallon of distilled water, remove 6.4 ounces, and add back in 6.4 ounces of bleach. Stir, and then I can dip the leaf and the egg into the solution and gently swish it around for about 60 seconds. These do not have eggs, as I am all in caterpillar stage right now, but what you would do is just gingerly twirl your leaf around in the solution for 60 seconds. I time this using an egg timer. And then once you're done, pull them back out, rinse them the same way for another 60 seconds in distilled water. And then you would let them dry. This kills off any of the protozoa that may be living on the egg, because once the caterpillar hatches out of its egg, it will actually eat the shell that it resided in. And it does that for each time that it goes through a metamorphosis. So it goes through 5 different instar stages before it gets to the 5th instar and turns into a chrysalid. Once they have emerged, I will place them in mesh butterfly cages and feed them fresh milkweed until they turn into a chrysalis. Once they turn into chrysalis, I will wait 7 to 14 days for them to hatch. While they are growing, they leave quite a bit of frass behind, so you'll want to line your cages with an absorbent towel or cardboard so you can keep their nursery clean. I clean my cages often to prevent illness or contamination. I normally keep my leaves and small fronds in floral foam to keep the plant cuttings hydrated. If I am out of floral foam, I will use a crochet doily to cover the water to keep any falling monarchs from drowning. This way they land on top of the doily to make their way back up the stem. As the caterpillars get larger, I add in taller fronds, which will help them find their way to the top of the mesh cage, and that is where they go into J-hang. Then we just wait for them to turn into chrysalids. After they turn into chrysalids, it takes them about 7 to 14 days before they start to turn clear and you can actually see the butterfly inside. Then they hatch. Once they hatch, now it's time for us to release them. If I have not been able to treat the eggs before I am able to see them hatched into caterpillars, then there is one final step that I will have to do, and that is actually checking the butterfly for OE by taking a sample from its belly. I can't do that right now because I do not have any active butterflies that are in this stage right now, but once I do, I will show you how to check a butterfly's abdomen and make sure that it doesn't have any OE before we release them. Till next time.